It's not how much money you make that decides your future. It's how much you lose without even noticing. Most people are not kept poor by lack of income, but by repeating the same financial mistakes every single day. Wealth doesn't slip away in giant waves, it disappears through tiny leaks, habits so common you hardly notice them until it's too late. These three truths reveal something powerful. Poverty is not a destiny, it is a pattern, and patterns can be changed. If you've ever felt trapped, working hard but never moving forward, it is not because you are incapable, it is because you may be unknowingly caught in financial traps that quietly drain your future. But here's the good news. You are not powerless when you see the mistakes clearly. You can stop repeating them. When you understand the traps, you can step out of them. And when you replace these destructive habits with wiser choices, the same energy you've been wasting can become the foundation of your wealth. In this journey, we will uncover 5 of the most common money mistakes that keep people poor. Mistakes that don't just steal money from your pocket, but peace from your mind. Mistakes that, once avoided, can change the course of your financial life. So take a deep breath. Let go of the shame of the past and open your heart to the possibility of change. Because what you are about to hear may sound simple, but it has the power to set you free. Now, let us begin with the very first mistake, the one that silently chains millions of people to a cycle of stress and scarcity. Number 1. Living paycheck to paycheck. Picture this. It's the end of the month. You're counting down the days until the next paycheck arrives. The bills are stacked on the table. The fridge looks emptier than you'd like, and your mind is racing with worry. Will I make it through? This is the reality of living paycheck to paycheck, and it's one of the most common traps that keeps people poor. Living paycheck to paycheck means every dollar you earn is already spoken for before it even reaches your hands. Your rent, your bills, your debts, your spending habits, they swallow your income whole. By the time you exhale, you're already waiting for the next payday to breathe again. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water while a hole at the bottom is draining. It just as fast, no matter how much you pour in, it never fills. The problem is not always how much you make, but how you manage what you keep. The wealthy break this cycle by doing one thing differently. They create space between their income and their expenses. They don't let every dollar escape. Keep a portion, no matter how small, and put it aside. That space is where freedom begins. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you live in constant fear. Fear of emergencies, fear of unexpected expenses, fear that one missed paycheck could send everything crashing down. But when you begin to break the cycle, even with the smallest step, the fear starts to fade. Saving $10 might not sound like much, but it's not about the number. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control, not your circumstances. Ask yourself, do you own your money, or does your money own you? Each time you choose to save a little, to cut back on unnecessary spending, you patch the holes in your bucket. Slowly, but surely, the water begins to rise. Breaking free from living paycheck to paycheck is not about earning millions overnight. It's about discipline. It's about creating breathing room. It's about refusing to live on the edge of financial collapse and instead stepping into stability. And once you take that first step, you will discover something powerful. Money is not the enemy, it is a tool. And when you use it wisely, it builds your future instead of chaining you to the present. Now that we've uncovered the first mistake, let's turn to the second one that often grows silently in the shadows until it becomes too big to ignore. Number 2, ignoring debt and interest. Debt is like a shadow. At first, it seems small, easy to overlook, but as time passes, it grows longer, darker, and harder to escape. One of the most dangerous money mistakes that keeps people poor is ignoring debt and interest. Many people treat debt like a closed door. They push it out of sight, hoping that if they ignore it, it will somehow vanish. But debt does not disappear in silence, like a snowball rolling down a hill. It grows bigger and faster with every moment of neglect. Credit cards, unpaid loans, high-interest balances, they don't just stand still, they multiply. That $100 you owe becomes $120, then $150, and before long, it has ballooned into thousands, and all because of one simple choice: to look away instead of facing it. The wealthy think differently. They confront debt, head dash on. They understand that every dollar of interest you pay is a dollar stolen from your future self. They prioritize eliminating high-interest debt because they know it's like carrying water in a leaking bucket. No matter how hard you work to fill it, the leak keeps draining your progress. Ignoring debt is not just a financial mistake, it's an emotional trap. It creates stress that lingers in the background of your life, stealing your peace, your sleep, and your confidence. You may try to silence it with distractions, but deep down, you know it's still there. Waiting, facing your debt may feel terrifying, but it is also liberating. When you write down what you owe, when you make a plan of it, a small one, you take back power. You shift from being a victim of your debt to being the commander of your future. Imagine two people. The first avoids their debt, paying only the minimum, watching it grow year after year. The second creates a plan cutting unnecessary spending, paying down high-interest loans first and slowly but steadily shrinking the balance. 10 years later, one is buried, the other is free. The difference is not luck, it is action. Debt ignored is a chain. Debt confronted is a challenge. And once conquered, it becomes a victory that strengthens not only your finances, but your character. So don't let debt control your life in silence. Look it in the eye, break it down, take it step by step until the shadow fades. And as we move forward, we arrive at the third mistake, one that is often fueled by pride and the need for approval. Number 3, spending to impress others. There is a hidden trap that drains more wealth than many people realize. The urge to spend money to impress others, it often begins subtly. You see a friend buy a new car, and suddenly your old one feels inadequate. You notice colleagues with designer clothes, and you convince yourself you need them too. Before long, your financial choices are no longer about your needs or your goals. They are about appearances. This mistake is like painting rotten wood with gold. On the outside, it shines. On the inside, it's crumbling. The wealthy avoid this trap because they understand a powerful truth. Real wealth whispers. It doesn't scream, true prosperity is not about showing off what you have, it's about building what no one sees. The bank account, the investments, the peace of mind, the freedom to choose how you live your life. When you spend money to impress others, you chain yourself to their approval. You hand over your future in exchange for a fleeting moment of admiration. And the sad truth is, most people are not even paying as much attention as you think. The car, the watch, the clothes they admire for a second, then forget. But you remain stuck with the debt, the empty savings account, and the stress of keeping up an image that was never yours to begin with. Imagine this. Two people walk into a room. One wears simple clothes, modest but confident. The other drips in expensive labels, but inside is anxious, drowning in credit card debt. Who is truly wealthier? The answer is, clear wealth has nothing to do with the costume, and everything to do with the foundation beneath it. The wealthy don't waste their energy on proving they are rich. They use their energy to become rich. And as a result, they often live with far more peace, freedom, and joy than those chasing the illusion of wealth. So ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it? Because it serves me, or because I want someone else to see me differently? The answer to that question can change your financial destiny. As we turn to the fourth mistake, remember this: wealth is not about how the world sees you, it is about how prepared you are for the world. And one of the greatest mistakes you can make is delaying the preparation that matters most. Number 4. Not investing early. There is a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Nowhere is this more true than in the world of money. One of the greatest mistakes that keeps people poor is not investing early. Most people delay investing because they believe they don't have enough. I'll start when I make more money, they say. I'll invest when the timing feels right. But the truth is, waiting is the costliest decision of all. Every year you wait, you lose the most powerful ally in wealth building: time. Investing is not about how much you start with, it's about how long you give your money to grow. Consider this: someone who invests $100 a month starting at age 20 can end up with far more than someone who invests $500 a month starting at age 40. Why? Because compound interest, the quiet miracle of money, rewards time, not hesitation. Think of investing like planting seeds. If you plant them today, you give them years to grow roots, to branch out, to multiply into a forest. But if you never plant them, or if you wait until later, you'll always be looking at bare soil, wishing you had started sooner. The wealthy understand this deeply. They don't wait for the right moment. They create it. Even if they can only start small, they begin because they know that the habit of investing is more valuable than the amount. Once the habit is in place, the amount can grow. Not investing early doesn't just cost you money. It costs you opportunities. It costs you freedom. The peace of mind that comes from knowing your future, is being built quietly in the background while you live your life. And here's the truth. You don't need to be a financial expert to begin. You just need to start. Whether it's a retirement account, index funds, real estate, or even investing in your own education and skills. Every investment you make today is a gift to your future self. So don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait until you feel ready. The wealth you dream of begins with the seed you plant today. And as we step into the fifth and final mistake, remember, this building wealth is not just about money itself, it is about knowledge. The kind of knowledge that either frees you or keeps you chained. Number 5. Avoiding financial education. Imagine getting behind the wheel of a car without ever learning the rules of the road. For a while, you might manage to move forward, but sooner or later, mistakes will catch up. Accidents, wrong turns, or worse. This is exactly what happens when people try to manage money without ever seeking financial education. The fifth mistake that keeps people poor is avoiding financial education. Many people believe that making money is enough. They think that if they work hard, wealth will naturally follow. But history shows otherwise. Countless people have earned fortunes, only to lose them because they never learned how money really works. Financial ignorance is the most expensive debt of all. When you don't understand interest rates, you fall victim to credit card traps. When you don't understand investing, you miss years of growth. When you don't understand budgeting, you live in constant stress, no matter how much you earn. The wealthy treat financial education as a lifelong commitment. They read books, they attend seminars, they listen to mentors, they ask questions, and most importantly, they apply what they learn. They know that money doesn't come with a manual. You have to write your own through study and experience. But avoiding education often comes from pride. Some people think, I already know enough, or I'll figure it out as I go. Others avoid it because of fear. They worry it will be too complicated. Yet the truth is, every step of learning gives you power, even a single principle. Like understanding compound interest or differentiating good debt from bad debt can save you years of struggle. Think of knowledge as light. Without it, you stumble in the dark, guessing at every move. With it, you see the path clearly, and what once felt overwhelming suddenly becomes manageable. If you want to break free from poverty, commit to financial education, it doesn't require a degree in economics. It requires curiosity, humility, and consistency. 10 minutes of learning a day compounds just like money does. Over time, it shapes your mindset, sharpens your decisions, and strengthens your ability to create lasting wealth. Remember this: ignorance is not an excuse, it is a choice, and every choice either keeps you poor or brings you closer to freedom. Now that we have uncovered the 5 mistakes that keep people trapped, it is time to step back and see the bigger picture. Because avoiding these mistakes is not just about money, it is about reclaiming your future. Final reminder: breaking free from poverty traps. 5 mistakes. 5 traps that silently drain your wealth, your peace, and your future. Living paycheck to paycheck keeps you in constant fear, ignoring to survival instead of freedom. Ignoring debt allows interest to grow like a shadow until it consumes your light. Spending to impress others sacrifices your future for appearances that fade in moments. Delaying investment robs you of the greatest ally you have: time. And avoiding financial education leaves you stumbling in the dark, paying the high price of ignorance. But here's the truth: none of these mistakes are permanent. They are not curses etched in stone. They are choices. Choices you can change today. Wealth is not built on perfection, it is built on awareness, on small corrections, on the willingness to face the truth and act differently. If you have made these mistakes, you are not alone. Almost everyone has. What separates the poor from the wealthy is not the absence of mistakes, but the courage to stop repeating them. So let this be your turning point. Decide today that you will no longer live in cycles of scarcity. Decide that you will face your debts, honor your money, invest in your future, and feed your mind with the wisdom that leads to freedom. Your financial destiny is not written by your past, it is written by what you choose next. You do not have to repeat the patterns that kept generations poor. You can rise higher, you can break free, and with each choice, each habit, each step, you can build a life of abundance, peace, and prosperity. The door is open, the path is clear, the decision is yours. Thank you for spending this moment with Awaken Light Audio. If something today touched your heart or opened your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you most? Tell us about your journey, your questions, your breakthroughs, and let us know what you'd love to hear next. Subscribe to stay connected. And if this message could uplift someone you care about, send it their way, because light grows when it's shared. Until next time, stay present, stay awakened, and keep becoming who you're meant to be.